Welcome to the lunchtime broadcast where we highlight the news making waves ranging from current affairs, community stories, sports and economic news. Here are the headlines. AtomExpo 2024 has kicked off in Russia. GIPF opens new branch and Kanyama threatens job cuts over ARV tender. I am Glenora Shipura and this is NMH at 1. In our midday news update, government institutions pension fund today commissioned a new office in Otapi in the Omusati region to serve its members in the north. Communications manager Edwin Shiramba earlier today said that the event would be officiated by the governor of the Omusati region, the town's mayor and the vice president of the fund's board of trustees. Shiramba added that the new branch seeks to bring services closer to the people. In our visual news, we highlight local stories from across Namibia. Right after the break, we get into that. Getting into our visual news, the AtomExpo 2024 has kicked off in Sochi, Russia this morning. Global leaders in energy production, including those countries with resources such as uranium necessary to produce nuclear energy, are in attendance. Jemima Viekers reports.
Good morning, Namibia. My name is Jemima Viekers. I'm here from Namibia Media Holdings, Namibian Sun, Republican Allgemeine Zeitung. I'm here in Russia, Sochi, where I'm representing our media group at the AtomExpo 2024. Now, here behind me, as you can see, is a 3D model that gives us an insight into the various types of renewable energy, what they call clean energy, as is prescribed, directed by the United Nations to get to net zero. As you can see here, most of it is driven by nuclear energy, which many people believe, despite its bad reputation, is the cleanest energy. So as you see here, we have the fleet, smart cities. We have wind power back home, as you can understand. That's something that we would have to also study with the wind energy, as we are on the brink of bringing in.
The newspaper review segment takes us into the top stories in Namibia's daily newspapers. We tackle these on the other side of the break.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Getting into our newspaper review, starting off with the Namibian Sun's front page. As the fight for the supply of antiretroviral medication continues, businessman Shapwa Kanyama says scores of his employees will be left jobless if the Central Procurement Board of Namibia does not award his company the lucrative contract Kanyama said this in court papers filed recently, in which he is also asking the court to hear a review application on an urgent basis. His business, Africure Pharmaceuticals Namibia, was awarded a bid to supply the health ministry with ARVs. The CPBN is, however, challenging the decision, making his case for why his company's review application should be considered an urgent basis. Kanyama said his business had various operational expenses. Moving on to page 4, the Landless People's Movement says it will petition the NAMDEP diamond corruption tomorrow, citing alleged worker abuse after several of its workers slept at a bus stop in Oranjemund after they were reportedly evicted. LPM's councillor in the mining town, Guame Stephanus, shared a video showing NAMDEP workers seemingly stranded at a bus stop after allegedly being forced to sleep in expensive accommodation. For a company that is perceived to be reputable and Namibia's pride, it is evident that it's just a hoax. Their aggrieved employees have proactively exercised their rights internally, and yet nothing has come forth. Instead of resolving the matter amicably, the company rather forces the employees into accepting expensive accommodation facilities by stopping the transport from Daberas, including the meals, just to evict the employees, Stephanus said in a statement. Now moving over to the Republicans' front page, widespread rainfall occurred over the weekend, particularly in the dry south, with more rain forecast for certain regions. The Meteorological Services of Namibia predicts moderate to heavy rainfall with single to isolated, but isolated to scattered thunderstorms that may occur in the Okunene, Erongo, Oshodonjuba, Khomas, and Hardap. Good showers fell in the south in the vicinity of Rehoboth, Keetmanshoop, Karasburg, Granau, Leonardville, Gochas, Aranos, Aruap, Kuos, Helmeringhausen, and in the Namib Desert. Over to the Republicans, page 2. A new copper mine planned to be constructed about 120 kilometers northeast of Windhoek in the Hockveld area is expected to extract more than 42,000 tons of high-quality copper. Cretan Mining and Exploration, the Namibian subsidiary of Mauritian Omiko Copper Limited, expects the Omtimur copper mine to produce between 25,000 and 30,000 tons of copper cathode over its lifespan. The project's lifespan between 13 and 15 years is worth at least 6.73 billion Namibian dollars, according to a Cretan report for the fourth quarter of 2023. Moving over to the Allgemeine Zeitung's front page, hydrogen development becomes a project by foreigners, importantly to appease the skeptics. The Hyphen Hydrogen project in southern Namibia has now been officially confirmed by an expression of interest from the Federal Republic of Germany. However, neither Hyphen Energy nor the Namibian Ministry of Mines and Energy considered this important enough for an announcement and opinion on that matter. Onto the Allgemeine Zeitung's page 3, Cretan Mining and Exploration expects the mine to produce between 25,000 and 30,000 tons of copper cathodes during its lifetime. Construction of the mine is due to start in the middle of next year and will create up to 700 new jobs. After the break, we continue with our newspaper review.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
We continue with our newspaper review. Starting off with the Namibian's front page, the management of the Namibia Institute of Pathology has gone against the advice of its chief internal auditor to buy 18 vehicles for $8 million instead of renting them at $10.4 million over 4 years. A breakdown of the new fleet cost prepared by the NIP Chief Internal Auditor Mekonjo Katangu in August 2023, which the Namibian has seen, shows that by the end of the lease period, the NIP will not become assets of the parastatal. Over to page 3 of the Namibian, Windhoek Pharmacy has won a court battle against the Namibia Medicines Regulatory Council and the Minister of Health and Social Services over attempts by the council to restrict the pharmacy's preparation of tailor-made medicines that are not otherwise available in Namibia. The pharmacy scored the win in a judgment in which Windhoek High Court Judge Shifameni Witele declared a regulation published in July 2008 under the Medicines and Related Substance Control Act as invalid, after finding the minister has acted beyond the scope of the powers given to him in the act when he made the regulation. Moving over to the New Era's front page, while the Southern African Development Community grapples with security challenges, especially in the DRC and Mozambique, the region will continue to pursue diplomatic solutions to bring lasting peace to those countries. Executive Secretary Elias Mahosi said this over the weekend in Lusaka, Zambia, at the Extraordinary Organ Triarcha Summit, plus SADC Triarcha troop contributing countries to the SADC mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo, personal contributing countries to the SADC mission in Mozambique, the DRC and Mozambique. Now, the summit received updates on the peace and security situation in the Democratic Republic of Congo and the Republic of Mozambique and reiterated SADC's support to the two governments towards attaining lasting peace, stability and security. Moving over to page 3, Namibia stands as a testament to the resilience and strength of its women who have been instrumental in shaping the narrative of peace and reconciliation. Thus, governments and intergovernmental organizations should create an impetus for United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325 and allocate resources to programs that address its provisions. This is according to the Minister of Foreign Relations, Peya Moshelenga, who was speaking at the opening of the African Union High-Level Seminar in Women, Peace and Security that took place in Swakopmund on Saturday. The high-level seminar was held under the theme commemorating 20 years of Peace and Security Council by taking stock of women's participation in leadership in peace processes in Africa. UNSCR 1325, adopted by the United Nations Security Council in October 2000, is a landmark resolution aimed at addressing the disproportionate impact of conflict on women and promoting their participation in peace and security processes. Moving over to Market Watch, the ratio of Stage 3 impaired loans of the Development Bank of Namibia has spiraled from 13% at the end of March 2020 to 33% at the end of March last year. This, combined with the bank's full ownership by the government, is one of the key factors influencing Fitch Ratings' decision to maintain the DBN's long-term issuer default rating at BP-, which is 2 notches below investment grade. Now, after the break, we take a look at our economic news.
Hi, Sonia.
Hi, Tufeni. What are you reading?
I'm reading about the Child Care and Protection Act. In this pamphlet I got from school.
What's that?
It is Namibia's main law for the children and the issues affecting them. The Act classifies here that a child is anyone under the age of 18 years. Check out some of the rights meant to protect you. For more information, contact the Children's Advocate.
For more information, contact the Children's Advocate Namibia in the Office of the Ombudsman on 061 20 73 111. Send us an SMS on 20401. SMS costs 40 cents. You can also send us a message via our Facebook page. Remember, the services of the Children's Advocate are free of charge.
Getting into our economic news, the Environmental Investment Fund of Namibia says it has played a pivotal role in shaping the Zambezi region's economic trajectory through strategic investments and initiatives. According to the fund, through its strategic investments, the region has witnessed transformative projects aimed at building climate resilience and sustainable livelihoods. These interventions have laid the groundwork for enhancing agricultural resilience and empowering local communities, it said. Now, according to the EIF, the region is renowned for its ecological diversity and vibrant communities and offers a unique canvas for environmental stewardship and economic empowerment. The region's vulnerability to climate change and its rich potential for sustainable agriculture and natural resource management make it an ideal locus for EIF's interventions. It added, however, despite the progress, Zambezi faces its share of challenges, including climate variability and socioeconomic disparities. Let's take a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.88, against the euro at 20.50, against the US dollar at 18.95. 2 Namibian dollars and 63 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the Namibia Stock Exchange, Namibian breweries went up at 0.03%, while Lecheho Holdings Limited went up as well at 2.50%, and First Rand Namibia Limited went down at 0.50%. Overall index went down at 0.05%, while local index went up at 0.12%. On the commodities market, all major commodities went up, with Brent crude oil trading at 0.41%, going for $86.19 per barrel.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Getting into our news from Africa, at least 4 women were killed in Nigeria in a stampede as a crowd rushed to get cash handouts from a businessman, police say. A 17-year-old girl was also injured in the incident, which happened in the northeastern Bauchi state on Sunday. Some reports put the death toll much higher. The businessman was issuing 5,000 naira to each person in an effort to help them buy food during the ongoing Muslim holy month of Ramadan, the AFP news agency reported. For months, Nigerians have been grappling with severe economic challenges, including soaring food prices. 2 students from Nasarawa State University near the capital city Abuja died on Friday during a separate stampede for free rice, and at least 7 deaths were reported in commercial hub Lagos last month after a struggle for cheap rice sold by the Nigeria Customs Service, a government body. Police have warned against holding such events without proper crowd control mechanism from the authorities. Now getting into our next story, in Dakar, supporters of presidential candidate Bassirou Diomaye Faye didn't wait for official results to start celebrating late Sunday. In the hundreds of thousands, they flooded the streets of the capital, rallying only on early trends. Now, crowds backing the protege of Ousmane Sonko gathered here at the headquarters of the Diomaye President Coalition. This victory is the victory of the people of Senegal. The people has decided today to take their fate into their own hands, a voter said. If official results are expected within a week, some of the 17 candidates vying for the presidency have already considered their defeat and congratulated Diomaye Faye. Some 7.3 million Senegalese were registered to vote Vote counting began in the early evening in a tense atmosphere in some parts of the country. In St. Louis, a major fishing town, a crowd booed and threw stones at a government delegation that entered a polling station after the polls closed. The supporters of ruling party candidate Amadou Bou hope and expect a runoff. Ba himself, a former prime minister and economy minister, said he will give his assessment of the results of the ballot box by midday Monday. Nafissatou Diallo, a member of the party of former President Abdoulaye Wade, called on Ba to congratulate Diomaye. At the forefront of the concerns for many Senegalese voters is the economy, which has been squeezed by high food and energy prices, partly driven by the war in Ukraine. Almost a third of Senegal's youth are unemployed, according to the independent researcher Afrobarometer, driving thousands to risk their lives on dangerous journeys in search of jobs in the West. After the break, we take a look at our sports news. We'll get into our sports news shortly, but first let's take a look at our international news. 2 of 4 suspects charged with carrying out the deadly concert hall attack in Moscow on March the 22nd admitted guilt in a Russian court. On Sunday, Moscow's Basmany District Court formally charged a 32-year-old with committing a group terrorist attack resulting in the death of others. The offense carries a maximum sentence of life imprisonment. A 30-year-old, a 19-year-old, and a 25-year-old also appeared before the judge. The attack, which was claimed by an affiliate of the Islamic State group, killed at least 137 people. The court ruled for the men, all of whom are citizens of Tajikistan, to be held in pretrial custody until May the 22nd. A suspect was brought in directly from hospital and sat silently in the dock with his eyes closed throughout the proceedings. He was attended by medics while in court, where he wore hospital gown and trousers and was seen with multiple cuts, citing the investigation. Russian news agency TASS reported that the 19-year-old was filming the terror attack. The Moscow Region Health Ministry reported 182 people injured. A total of 11 people involved in the attack have been apprehended, including 4 suspected attackers. Now, after the break, we'll get into our sports news as promised.
We are all seeking connection to each other, to the world, to the spaces we exist in.
Poor sportsmanship right now from the lads.
You might be physically ready, your body is ready, but mentally.
Here's another chance, and it is a goal from Vindo Kahana.
Hy sê wie hy is aan neertrek en daai bal het my grond gevat. Ja, hy het grond gevat en is
but just enough next.
Shh. Running that mountain up. Okay, so we will be doing this for the mountain climber. More advanced, slightly advanced.
So is jou trolley reg? Want
I love that. I love that. So then
kickstart our countdown at number 5 with this one.
Op Netwerk TV se Klets Kompas gesels ons nuus van 'n Maandag tot Donderdag. Ons kyk ook na die weer en meer. Stories wat jou raak en stories wat saak maak.
They've made a mistake in denying me bail, and they've made several other mistakes in many other cases.
The channels that teach us something new or reflect
our expression. So it goes beyond switching to the right station. It's about choosing the experience that can adorn the present, dressing it with our tastes as we expand our preferences, because what we are actually connecting to is boundless, limitless human energy. And this is the spirit of NTV.
Getting into our local sports news. Starting us off, there was a different feeling about this year's Prosperity Health Africa Triathlon Cup held in Swakopmund on Saturday, with athletes striving to score the maximum points in their ambition to qualify for the 2024 Paris Olympics. The competitiveness was highly appreciated by spectators. The event lived up to expectations as triathletes from Austria, Japan, Togo, Tunisia, and European countries took part in the Prosperity Health Africa Triathlon Cup. The elite men and women swam 750 meters in the Atlantic Ocean, cycled 20 kilometers through the town center, and ran 5 kilometers along the promenade. In a display of absolute dominance, FNB Grootfontein swept aside Namibia Rugby Union Premier League newcomers Saminis Storm Dolphin with a convincing 39-13 victory, which put the Northern team as the log leader after 2 rounds. The match, played in an electrifying atmosphere at the Tamariskia Stadium in Swakopmund, showcased Grootfontein's unwavering determination and skill, leaving spectators and viewers of NTV's broadcast impressed with their performance. Grootfontein hooker and captain Vickers Jacobs rounded off 3 tries from line-out drivers, expanding on his 2 tries in the previous weekend's 28-26 home win against defending champions Trasco United. Arrow ladies on Saturday managed one of the upsets of the FNB Women's Super League season so far by beating Girls and Goals 4-2 at the NFA Center in Katutura. The match saw both teams produce thrilling drama on the attack. Arrow ladies coach Salomon Nakale said he was pleased by the performance. "I believe this is a good win for us and I'm proud of how the girls played. It was a moral booster for us as a team as it gives us a chance to work harder," he said. After this short break, we take a look at our international sports news. Cameroon's Football Federation has cleared Nathan Douala to play in the country's Elite League playoffs without revealing how the international midfielder proved his identity following allegations of age cheating. The 17-year-old, who was part of the indomitable Lions squad at this year's Africa Cup of Nations, was among 62 players suspended by the FECAFOOT for double identification. It came amid accusations he had previously played in the Cameroonian League using the name Alexander Badeli, with his registration stating he was over the age of 21. An investigation by French newspaper Le Monde External unearthed the discrepancy before the Nations Cup. After the break, we'll be taking a look at our highlights.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind.
Let's take a look at the news highlights from today's broadcast. At least 4 women were killed in Nigeria in a stampede as a crowd rushed to get cash handouts from a businessman, police say. 2 of 4 suspects charged with carrying out the deadly concert hall attack in Moscow on March the 22nd admitted guilt in a Russian court. There was a different feeling about this year's Prosperity Health Africa Triathlon Cup held in Swakopmund on Saturday. And those have been your highlights. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. My name